Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everyone, and welcome back to KerbSide Collections, the KerbSide Pickups monthly show where I have my good buddy Shane Hoffmann sitting opposite me, and then he said opposed me, but that's not the right word. Hey, go, mate. Welcome to another month of us rambling and talking about some physical media.
It's going to be a good one, I reckon. Like, there's some things that have gone on since last
Mm.
time, and been some cracking releases come out for sure.
Yeah, it's not going to be his bumper episode as probably last month, but there's some stuff to announce. And if you don't follow the channel on Instagram, yeah, during the month I announced that Scream and Shout Factory labels or titles will be coming to Australia as native releases because All Interactive Distribution have acquired rights to a lot of their catalogue and more to come, I suppose. I don't have much more to announce. If you want to check out the video of that, I did do a live, but there's also there's an initial 12 films that have been announced that will be coming out in the not too distant future. By the time next month comes around, the next recording, I should have some more information I can share on when that will be, what that will be, potential Golden Harvest or Golden Princess titles too, because I did mention that on my live. Golden Princess titles will be included in that contract. And I should be able to tell you what those titles might be. There's just a lot of stuff obviously behind the scenes happening. But yeah, check out the KerbSide Collections Instagram page to get what those first 12 titles will be. And on next month's show, I should be able to tell everyone when they're coming and how. I don't know if we're getting all 12 at once or whether they're getting spread out over the months. I really don't know, but it's going to be fun to find out. I know that much. What else have we got to talk about? I've lost my note here, Shane. My computer is being a little bit naughty. Right. I also did announce in last month's episode, I think it was last month's, that Jurassic Park, and we're getting some steelbooks of those at what I think is what I announced was going to be a high price. But again, those prices aren't locked in. But the good news about these Jurassic Parks, not Jurassic Worlds, but the Jurassic Park original trilogy are all being upgraded into Dolby Vision and basically remastered. So if you have versions of those 4Ks now, then these ones definitely going to be better. Especially have that Dolby Vision facility. What are your thoughts on any of that, Shane?
Well, I recently watched those three again,
Mm.
and this was before you even mentioned any of that. And I did think, yeah, these are pretty good, but
Mm.
could always be better. And after you mentioned that, I'm like, yeah, these are going to be wow with the Dolby
Yeah,
Vision for sure.
yeah. I have a 4K of it, and it's okay. If you had the Blu-ray, it's probably not really worth upgrading to that 4K, but the Dolby Vision will definitely be worth upgrading to. And in collector's packs, it should be fun. But yeah, I think I'll be putting my hand up for those for sure. Now, I don't know whether they're coming in as a box set, as in 3-in-1 package, or whether it's individual as well. I'm not sure how that's happening in Australia, but I think overseas it's in the box. So 100% not sure at this time. During the month, Shane, we both did some things. We both sit here right now with dodgy backs. That's something
Yeah,
we have in
I got
common.
a pillow propping up mine at the minute.
Yeah. I've got some lumbar support. You've hurt yours from actual work. You got paid to hurt yours. I did mine because I've rearranged my shelves,
Yeah.
my movie shelves. So that's both important bits of work, I suppose. But I've gained myself a lot more space for my future purchasing. Yeah, I'm not sure where I was going with that. But also this month, we both did a rewatch of Harry Potter's.
It,
I did want us to talk about that a little bit, and yeah, I'm not sure how much you wanted to talk about it yourself, to be honest.
well, I hadn't watched them since I bought the box set, and I don't know. It was like when was it? Good Friday that night. I chucked on
Mm.
Philosopher's Stone, and I was just like, I need to see Chamber of Secrets now, and then I need to
Yeah.
see Azkaban. And before I knew it, 3 days had passed, and we slammed the whole lot.
Yeah.
And it was just great rewatching all of them. They're just so fun, and the
Mm.
the magic of cinema coming from a book telling, and it's like, wow, these are just great. So,
They
I
are. Yeah.
highly enjoy watching them.
Yeah, no, I watch them generally. I try and do a rewatch. They're the only trilogy trilogy. It's not a trilogy. It's the only franchise I watch every film of. I try to watch every year. I didn't watch them in 2024, but I did watch them in 23, 22, 21, etc. And obviously now 25. Because I just think it's fantastic. I think it's one of the greatest franchises ever made. Like the books were all amazing. Warner Brothers treated the property so well. Like the movies are really come across well from the books. Obviously, a book's going to have a bit more information, and now they're making a Harry Potter series, which, if you don't know, HBO are making a Harry Potter series, and they've cast a lot of the roles already. But they'll probably be able to. I would hope they do a season per year per book, which means we're going to get a lot more of that behind the scenes stuff. I would guarantee we're going to get a lot more Peeves. Did you read the books?
I haven't read any of the books.
Ah,
I
okay.
I probably should because I have heard they're just incredible
The
and
books are
they
great.
are semi-accurate to everything in the films. So
Yes, yes. There's not a lot missing. There's especially from the first few, you miss a lot of. There's a character in there called Peeves. He's a ghost and he's a pain in the ass. He's just like a shit stirrer type of ghost. He's not in the movies at all. But also those in the first two movies, there's like the house mascots, the ghosts, like Nearly Headless Nick, which is John Cleese, and that. I think they're through the books quite a bit more as well. So I expect that to be in the series. But yeah, Harry Potter's great. The 4K, the transfers of those are really impressive.
yeah,
They are
definitely.
great looking films. I would say Azkaban's probably the best one overall as an actual 4K transfer. But yeah, got any thoughts on that?
They're all pretty decent in their own
They,
right.
they are,
You
yeah.
know, for films that are quite dark looking. There's not a lot of it that in that darkness it's not clear, if that makes sense. So for
Yeah.
4K transfers, you want to see all those intricate details, even if it's quite dark. And they all just
Yeah.
pop out anyway. And the color grading is really good with these. Nothing's that dull. And I found the sound was absolutely thunderous, which
Yes.
is saying a lot because I've only got bookshelf speakers which I bought to play vinyl, but
Mhm.
now we've used them for the TV. But I
Yeah.
thought the sound was just explosively loud,
Yeah.
which it
Yeah.
normally isn't that loud.
Yeah. I have a 7.1 set up, and it affirm that the sound is immaculate. There's some Atmos stuff that you hear in there, especially in the later films when the dragon's flying and they're going into Gringotts and that in the Deathly Hallows Part 2, I think. Just stuff like that. It's so amazing. Yeah, sounds brilliant. So that's going to lead us on to what our favorite transfers were of the month. So our new segment, sorry, I should say.
Sure.
It can be more than
I
one.
I mean I've got probably two I could chat about.
Yeah.
So kind of new drops or new arrivals for both of them. The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Mm.
I've loved that film since I saw it way, way, way back.
Yep.
And this transfer is fantastic. It just looks super clean, nice bright colors, good
Yeah, I'm
clarity
keen.
through from start to finish. Sounds good. There's a lot of details in, all the clothes that they're wearing, surrounding environments. Because I look at all that stuff, I love that shit. I love seeing different
Mm.
patterns pop out of wallpaper or a sweater.
Mhm.
I love seeing that. That excites me. So
Yeah.
just a really tight transfer. I'm stoked. I've never owned it. I don't think ever, but I have wanted to get the Blu-ray for a long time, and I'm glad I
Yeah.
didn't because this absolutely blows it out of the water.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Does this come? Because I brought this, but I haven't gotten to see it yet. Does it come with a Blu-ray? Because I also have a Blu-ray of it too, which I picked up. This is
I
one other one.
reckon yes, it
Yeah.
does. It's a two disc, and
Okay.
I think the other disc has all the special features on it that I probably won't watch, but I'll endeavor to one day.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. I will look for special features in comedy movies just to watch bloopers because bloopers are not my favorite thing a lot of the times. But yeah, I'm keen to get stuck into Long Kiss Goodnight, the 4K, but I'm not sure when I'll get around to it. This was one of my predicted ones where I saw it cheap on Amazon as a Blu-ray, and then it came out, and here we
Really?
are. Small Soldiers has come out too. Anyway, I'm going to shut up about that. What's your other one? Because I've got a couple of,
Um,
well, two and a half I want to
my
talk about.
my other one is Drop Zone, which I watched
Yeah, yeah.
on Thursday night. So I was lucky enough to get my Vinegar Syndrome two films before the long weekend. So totally chucked that on. It was a no-brainer. And I've had that on, I reckon I got a VHS of that packed away.
Wow.
And I got a DVD of it because I couldn't find it on anything else because the Blu-ray is just too expensive to even
Really?
think about buying. So I'm glad that this got the 4K treatment. because
Mm,
it's well worth it. It's just a solid transfer throughout, even though the sky jumping stuff is a bit sketchy for its time,
blue
how they
screen.
filmed it for, fake screens, fake
Yeah.
backgrounds. Characters in that kind of it looks a little bit strange,
Mm,
but that is my only grievance with it. The rest of it is top notch. The colors are bright as punch. I couldn't ask for a better transfer of that if I tried. So pretty
yeah,
decent.
good.
It's well worth picking up for sure. And I didn't post it in my Instagram post, but I did get the parachute bundle.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, haven't opened it yet because if I'm going to open it, I'd like to actually put it somewhere where it's presentable and it looks
Yeah.
awesome. So one day when that happens, I'll
You keep
take
it
a
keep it
photo.
as
It
you
looks pretty
can.
wild.
Yeah, cool.
So
My first
what
one,
have you got, Adam?
yeah, I've got. I'm going to say I was lucky enough through the month to my kids have just turned 18. I have twins, and my boy actually was like, because we used to watch movies a lot, and he was like, yeah, we should watch a movie tonight because he wasn't with his girlfriend, blah blah blah. And we sat down and I showed him Pulp Fiction, and he didn't. I don't think he was that impressed, to be honest. I mean, he was like, yeah, that was good. He doesn't talk about stuff like that. It kind of gutted me a bit, but. The transfer itself, I'd never watched Pulp Fiction in 4K before, because I've only ever had the Blu-ray, and I'm in two minds about it. Have you seen the 4K of Pulp Fiction? Do you recall
Yep.
it at all? Because I was
Yeah,
like,
I've got that.
yeah, and do you recall watching it? Like, what you thought of it? I'm in
I
two
thought it was
minds, is
pretty
all.
thought it was pretty solid. Like, is it a film that a 4K is gonna improve it? It's a masterpiece in its own right,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know,
It does improve it. Like I think it is. It does look really schmick. But as I was watching it, I'm like, it seems brighter than a Blu-ray, like which you're going to expect, and it's very because of that LA lighting, and it's like more of a
yeah,
it's a warmish color palette.
yeah.
And I was like, some of it just feels too bright for what Pulp Fiction. Well, I guess what I'm used to. I guess it's one of those things I'm not used to seeing it as schmick as it is. There's a lot of green removed, I think, from the film, but it does look pretty fantastic. Like the colors do pop really well. Not that it's a colorful film, but when there is color, it looks really good. And that's why I said 2.5. I was just in two minds about whether I like it or not, because I think the transfer looks really fantastic, but I'm not sure Pulp Fiction is supposed to look that good. That's why I'm a little bit iffy on it. I'm not sure if you have any thoughts about Pulp Fiction. Well, the 4K transfer of it anyway.
I think
You don't?
if you've seen this film as probably as many times as we
Yeah.
have, and then you see it in a different light, however that is, it's going to
Mm.
throw you.
Yeah.
And there's no getting around it. I mean, I could say that I was very hesitant about, Texas 4K, and
Mm.
I didn't want them to take all the grit out of it because that film needs the grit. It's all about
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
dirtiness and
Absolutely.
harshness. So
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction's no different. The way it was shot, it was specific for, that sort of lighting and the
Yeah.
mood and the vibe that it brings.
Mm.
So you saying it looks a little bit bright, that is a bit sketchy in some ways.
Yeah.
But I guess for someone who's never seen it and they're watching it for the first time on
Oh,
4K, it's not
yeah.
going to mean anything to them.
No, no, it's not.
It'll
Yeah.
be, wow, that looked great. But to hardcore cinephiles, it could be a different story.
Yeah, look, all very good points. Yeah, and I guess just be repeating myself. I think it's does look good, but I'm not sure it's supposed to look that good. Anyway, my real two for the month of my favorite transfers, and I was scrambling, and it was only the last few days I watched both of these movies. But I watched recently Joint Security Area, which is the Park Chan-wook film from Umbrella, the 4K of that. It looks fantastic. It looks so good. It's from the early 2000s, maybe late 90s. Really impressed about that. Really good film as well. Quite tense little war thriller, whodunit type of mystery. It's and just says a lot about those two countries, North and South Korea, the politics there. Really, really, really impressive film. And the next one, which is we're going to talk about another film that's going to fit this mold with the same actor in it later. But these are films that I probably had watched when I was little when I was young, but I don't think I ever watched them, if that makes sense. So I counted them both as first watches. But I checked out the First Blood movies, the Rambo 1 and 2. And Rambo 2 was the one that stood out for me. I thought it looked spectacular. Rambo 2 looked so cool. That's a very different film to number one, but I was also really surprised that James Cameron actually co-wrote Rambo 2 with Sly, which says a lot because if you watch it, you'll see there's a lot of James Cameron in it. The action, the style, the way things are paid off, it's very James Cameron. But yeah, Rambo 2 looked great. That's one of my favorite transfers for the month. Yeah. Any comments on that stuff?
Yeah, well, I've loved them since I was a kid. I've seen them so
Mm,
many times. Rambo First Blood is a different looking film. It's a lot darker.
yeah,
There's a lot more grain in that one, whereas Rambo 2 is just balls to the wall, huge explosions,
yeah,
the crazy torture scenes, just going back to war and what he went through. It's almost like he's reliving it again. And a bit of a love story in there, like just a touch before
yes,
it all comes
there
apart
is.
and he goes bananas
Yes.
and destroys them all. So yeah, no, I like both of them. I mean, number three worth checking out if you've already seen one and two. It's still gritty. I mean, I had the video game when I was a kid, and that was pretty interesting.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, yeah, it's more like an
Okay.
overhead sort of view of the guy walking around. He's got his knife and his gun and
Yep.
goes in and out of rooms and stuff. It was what the 90s was all about for computer games, or for me anyway. But I think they're all great in their own right. Like, I mean, the last one was incredibly brutal. So I don't know if you've seen any of the other ones, but they're totally worth checking out.
No, I haven't seen after number two, and I don't know. Sometimes with those older ones or any franchise, I'm a bit remiss to dive into them because sometimes if they're shit, it kind of ruins the first two for you because then you go, oh, I don't want to watch number one because the rest of them are terrible. But yeah, I've had that a few times. Nothing springing to mind example wise right now, but yeah, it's just kind of pain in the bum
I
when
think
they ruin the
anything like
franchise.
Stallone related and franchises, especially Rocky and Rambo, the
Mm,
character progression is just fantastic. Like,
yeah,
you can just see that these characters build and grow in ways, like emotional ways, from film to film
yeah,
as it goes on. And I think you see that in both franchises. So it's
yeah.
kind of it's I
That's fair.
reckon you'd enjoy looking at it in that way if you were to watch, three, four, and five, because you can
Okay.
see that.
There's five of them, is there? Wow. Are they all on? I know Rainbow Three's got a 4K. I don't know about the other two.
So you can get five on 4K here, but number four, I had to get that as an import from the States.
Okay. Right.
Uh,
Okay.
so, there's always going to be one that you're not going to get here, as
Always.
always.
Yeah, interesting. We're on to now. We'll talk about what we've had arrive, yeah? Before we
Sure. I reckon you should start. I think I started last time.
right,
I think.
okay, so yeah, I'm happy to start. All good. So we're recording this on the 28th of April. I'm on holiday, so this might not be my final tally, but up until now I've had 92 new arrivals this month. It seems like a lot, but I've done a lot of that is a lot, but a lot of this is op shopping. What are you laughing at? It is a lot.
It's not a lot. It's just, I just had 92 titles this month.
Well, but the thing is, it's not all, there's a lot of op shopping, and I'll talk about some of them my op shop pickups as I get there as well. So a couple I want to mention though, and I'm just as I'm highlighting those, I did get some stuff from Arrow and from Outrun come through. I did pick up the Terminator 4K. I actually got that on Amazon. That was like $30 in a recent sale they had, so I was happy with that. No steelbook needed for that for me. And yeah, I don't know if I want to add much more to that. I did pick up, and I actually watched it before recording, or watched it today. It was "Don't Torture a Duckling," the Arrow release, the Italian Giallo film. It was awesome. It was so good. Like just, it was just delivered on everything I was hoping it would. I also picked up Night Moves, the Criterion release, which came out pretty recently. Also got Basket Case from Arrow. They had a sale. They had an Easter sale, so I got Basket Case, which is another Giallo film. And I also picked up that Arrow Return to the Video Store box set that
Yeah.
they've got. There's 5 films in there, 5 B-grade VHS, direct to VHS films. I watched 2 of those, which was Dolls and Arena. They're both fun as hell in their own way. Like you've really got to be, they're not great movies, but damn, you can get a lot from them if you sit there in the right mood to watch them. Like I had a lot of fun with those first 2 and keen to watch the other 3. It's just a matter of being in the right frame of mind. Yeah, got the Paddingtons because they're great. Paddington 3 wasn't as great as the first 2 are. I did also pick up through an Amazon sale Jacques Tati, which is a French director. I picked up his box set, which is how many films is that? It can't be 30. There's a few shorts in there. So 7 films and I think 6 shorts. And that was a really great price for the Jacques Tati one. If you haven't heard of him, a lot of his stuff is free on YouTube. And also a Jean-Luc Godard box set as well, which has 5 films in that from him. And that was like less than $40 for that. So I was pretty stoked getting that one. You can step in any time if you're into the French New Wave guys and talk about those films if you've seen them. I know you haven't. Sounds like I'm being a prick, but I'm not. What one I watched last night that came out in Blu-ray in Australia recently was Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. I probably had seen bits of that again as a kid when I was too young to watch it, but I watched it last night and I laughed my ass off in so many parts. I'm not sure if you've got memories of that film.
I think I've only seen parts. I don't think
Okay.
I've ever seen it start to finish.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Like it's not a great, so much shit happens in that film. It's like, hang on, how many days of character progression did we miss for you to get to this part? Like it's just stuff that happens that it's like you can just see there's a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor, how they got from one scene to the next sometimes. It's like that makes no sense, but that could have been there as well. I don't think it was. But it's still like it's a funny film, really funny film. Well, I did also get the Long Kiss Goodnight, which Shane was talking about before. JB Hi-Fi had a 25% off sale over Easter for one hot day. I was lucky enough to pick up The Accountant in 4K. I actually got that for $18 with the 25% off. That was great. I picked up a few like BVS ones, Beverly Hills Ninja and stuff like that, and some newer releases that have come out. Also picked up Sneakers, which is one I have spoken about in this show before, where I announced I had ordered it at least, and Cure, which is a Eureka Masters of Cinema Japanese horror thingy. Keen to watch that when I find the time. Also picked up The Hunted recently. That was on sale on Amazon. That's the William Friedkin film with Benicio and Tommy Lee Jones, right? Yeah. Today I went op shopping, as I've mentioned. I picked up Crocodile Dundee and Crocodile Dundee 2, but I picked up the DVD because for $1, and me and Shane were talking about this before we started recording. Picked those up pretty much because the new 4Ks coming out have a shit cut on them. They're not the original movies. I got these because it's the original theatrical cuts, where the new ones are heavily, well, maybe not heavily edited, but they're edited for modern audiences, which is a bit of a pisser. And I would never buy them for that. If they bring out the theatrical cuts, I might get them, but I wouldn't buy them with what they're releasing. I'll tell the people your opinion on that as well, Shane.
I'm going to be straight up. I think it's pathetic that you want to cut a film that was created at the time and all the stuff that's in it that makes it great was in
Mm,
that time.
yeah,
And I can understand if you did a remake of the film in this time and you wanted to make it in this times, fair enough. Make
mhm,
it in today's times, but don't cut a film because it doesn't fit with today's times
I
when
agree.
it was filmed back in the 80s. Like the 80s was a different time. People spoke differently. They had different
Mhm.
behaviors. They did a lot of different things. And
Yeah,
I don't agree that you need to edit something. People need to see it for what it is because
that's right.
that's when it was made.
Yep. You
So,
can't
you
edit it
know,
just because you might hurt someone's feelings. At the end of the day, Disney doesn't do it with their old films. They put a warning up beforehand. They even put the warning up and say, if you're soft as fuck, don't watch this film. Simple as that. If you're going to be a little bitch, don't watch this film. That's what the messages are really saying. Like it's just, yeah, it might be our age that's saying it, but it doesn't excuse the way things were done back in that time. But the fact of the matter is, that's the way things were back in that time. So how about we keep art
mm,
for art's sake and reflect those times and learn and we learn from it. Like we watch those old films and go, hey, they shouldn't be saying that. Well, they did say it. They shouldn't be saying it, but they did, and that's how society was. Now we can just learn from it. If you cut out history, If you ignore history, then you're just doomed to repeat it. It's simple as that. Yeah, I agree. We shouldn't be editing art. Just let's just watch it and shut the hell up. Yeah. So I would happily boycott those type of titles if they're going to edit those things out. It's just yeah, pathetic is a fantastic word for it.
I mean,
Um.
I've watched so many movies lately, or
mm,
whenever, and we'll be on the couch watching a movie. It's usually an old movie, and I'll look at Leah and just go, you know what? You could not make this movie today.
no.
You
No.
couldn't.
No.
The themes of it are just absolutely big red crosses everywhere. You just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But we're watching it in its purest form from when it was made, and it's fine.
Yeah.
We're not going to be offended by it. We're going to enjoy it for what it is.
It reflects the
Um,
times. It's simple
and
as
that's
that.
the whole point of film. It's delivering something that could be fictitious, could have been a true story, and you can sit there and revel in it, get emotional about it, shed a tear, do whatever you're going to do, because
Mm,
that's how it's going to make you feel. And to cut out that stuff for the people that are going to jump up and down and
yeah.
nanny state it here to Sunday, it's just not right. If those people don't want to see it, fine. Those
Yeah.
people can go to another island and put their head in the sand like it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So
That's yeah, well said. Yeah, stop ruining it for the rest of us. It's as simple
exactly.
as that. And is there a correlation then between they're not allowed to make films like that anymore and the fact that cinema is dying? Is that a correlation? Like the silent
Um,
the vocal minority are winning out because they could absolutely make films like that nowadays, but studios and the money guys, they're too piss weak. They're too scared to make it under because they'll get run through the mill on the internet. But
mm,
you look on the other hand, if you've ever watched a modern episodes of Family Guy or South Park, they do whatever the fuck they want. No one drags
yep.
them through the mud. Is it because they're animated and they get away with it? I don't think it is. I think it's more the fact that the vocal minority don't watch that stuff. Yeah,
I think in
it's
today's times, a director has to bring all their courage, guts, and just everything they've got going inside
yep.
and run with it, stand by it, and
Hmm.
shoot it.
Yep.
If they're gonna go, oh, I don't think I could do that or get away with it. Well, no,
Mm.
you're wasting your time. If you want to tell your story in the way you want to tell it, so tell it, and we'll go out to the cinema and watch it, and we'll pay that $20 and we'll enjoy it.
Yep.
I just
Um,
don't just go for it.
yeah, totally agree. Yeah, you need to let art. I mean, art is there to challenge people. It's as simple as that. And if you feel challenged by art, then it's doing its job. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and you don't have the right to go through life and not be offended by something. Cool, be offended. Doesn't mean you're correct. Doesn't mean you're right. It just means you're offended, and and it's fine to be offended. Stuff can offend me, and I think by and large, people choose to be offended by something. You can be outraged. I mean, it's fake outrage. I don't know. We could just rant about this for a long time, but just let people make the films they want to make and shut the hell up. I know.
I'll mention one director, and I don't know if you've seen many of his films, but this guy is a no holds barred
Yeah.
beast, and that's Gaspar Noé. That
Oh
guy,
yeah.
no holds barred. He does not give a fuck about what he puts out there. He'll
I
do
have.
it. You would have heard of Irreversible,
Yes, I have. Don't think I've definitely heard of it.
one of the most nauseating, distressing, unsettling films I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, right.
I won't watch it again.
Oh wow.
There's something about it, the way the soundtrack works with the violence in it. It's disorientating, camera spinning in ways that it shouldn't.
Ah, yeah. Probably make me vomit.
It's highly unsettling. But
Mm.
in saying that, completely brilliant that he had the balls to tell a story like that and shoot it in reverse from where it all
Ah,
comes undone to where it ends up.
yeah.
It's just it's an interesting film. But that guy, wow, he'll tell his story how he wants to tell it, and I think that is highly commendable.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's important that you allow artists to be artists. It's the
Exactly.
creators to create. Just allow them to do it, and that's how we got the best stuff. That's why the '70s was such a great decade for cinema because there was no studios just gave money out, make this film. Here's $20 million, go make a banger, and they did. Like they trusted
Yep.
writers and directors and to be auteurs and be visionaries and do what they had to do. You couldn't make a Mean Streets today. You couldn't. I don't even reckon they'd make Raging Bull. If they did, it'd be very different. Like things like that, it's just never happened. Anyway, I've got three more movies that I wanted to mention that I picked up today, literally today. I managed to, well, finally picked up Copland because they'd lowered the price of that in CEX. They were asking a stupid amount of money and they've lowered it. I was really happy to pick up Wall Street for $6, like the '87 Oliver Stone movie with Michael Douglas. That's a
Yep.
great movie. To get that on Blu-ray just blew me away. I was just, yep, because I love that movie. And also one that I probably should have always owned but never did was Taken. I picked that up from, well, I think for $3 from an op shop. I'll hand over to you what you've had arrive this month while I let my cat out.
Yeah, I saw him in the background.
Oh,
He was being cute.
he's resting on his chair and then just he's
I
bumping.
haven't I haven't really had too much arrive. Basically, yeah, I had Scanners come in. I haven't watched that yet. The Brood, I haven't watched that yet. I watched Tangerine and it was good. A
Mm.
very different film. It felt like it was shot in real time to me, the way it played out.
It
Very
was
good
shot
dialogue in that.
using, I think it was shot using an iPhone as well. Like it was all shot on a phone.
Yeah, it was
It,
it was different.
it
You
was
could
very,
see that.
yeah, it was gonzo guerrilla filming. So it's kind of just like filming through the streets with a few actors where I don't know he had a lot of permits to actually be doing what he did. So it's
Yeah,
all like
right.
guerrilla filming. That's how yeah. I know you haven't seen any other Sean Baker film, but yeah, I'm going to highly
Not
recommend it
yet.
for the Florida Project. Yeah, man, his films are great. They're just very human. I really like what he does.
Yes, I watched that. I watched Cruising. That's a
Mm,
pretty eye-opening film. Like we were just talking about, you couldn't make that one today, not even if you
yeah.
tried. It's just got that sort of vibe about it. Very different for Pacino too, to see him, you know, undercover gay officer.
Well, he's
And yeah, it's
this.
just
This might
different.
get us. This might get us into trouble. But isn't he gay in Dog Day Afternoon?
I'm not sure because I haven't seen that in a really long time. I
Oh,
need to
okay.
see it again because it's a great film.
It
Just
is a
yeah,
it
it's
is a fantastic film, but he's cheating on his wife with a man who is, well, he's robbing the bank basically so he can pay for the person he's cheating on pay for their transition surgery to become a woman.
honestly I can't even remember
Oh, really?
it in those details. It's been that long, but
It's
I just remember it being incredible.
I'm trying to think of the guy who plays the part, but he's in Chris Sarandon. He's awesome. He was actually an Oscar nominated for that role, and he's not in it for long.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, back to you.
Obviously, I already mentioned The Long Kiss Goodnight and
Yep.
Drop Zone, another one from VS, The Nesting, which I
Mm.
was pretty chuffed to see that come out because I'd never seen it, but I always remember the VHS cover when I was a kid. And I held it in my hand and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get that one today. And I never actually hired it. So it was pretty cool, different film. So that's pretty much all the arrivals that I've had.
Okay. We'll talk about movies we've got ordered. Do you want me to? I can go through
I'll
mine.
go for it.
So I have pre-ordered the steelbooks for Mickey 17 and Sinners, which I watched yesterday in the cinema. $40 because they're roadshow titles. The steelbooks is a no-brainer for me. Sinners was great, so great, and definitely needs rewatching. That's a multiple rewatch film. And Mickey 17, I think I've spoken about this. I might have spoken about this last time actually, last show. I can't remember, but I
I
really
think
really
you,
like Mickey
I
17. I
reckon you'd
did.
just seen it before we did the show.
Yeah, probably.
Reckon.
But I've got pre-ordered the 4K of that as well, the steelbook of that. Amazon. While I was watching Up in Smoke last night, I went and ordered Cheech and Chong's next movie because that was only $16, I think, from Amazon. I was like, cool, I'll grab that. Because I have quite a few. The others are a bit too expensive for me to bother paying for at the moment. I like these old silly films, the Blake Edwards, the Pink Panther films. I got them on from eBay. They're on their way. There's just a DVD box set though, so I'm kind of back to buying DVDs. But I'd love to see these Pink Panthers get upgrades. Just an entire box set of Blake Edwards films would be amazing. Honora is in the post. I should have that this week sometime, if not tomorrow. Flow, which I've just chickened out and gotten the Blu-ray for that. I'm kind of regretting not waiting and getting a 4K, but Flow on Blu-ray is fine because if you look at the animation style, 4K is not going to blow you away. I have got what's his name? The Clint Eastwood trio. I've got those coming in May.
That guy's name.
Yeah, yeah. What is that legendary actor and director's name?
He's only like nearing 100. It's fine.
Yeah.
I can't
And
remember
still
his name
directing
right
movies. Yeah, I don't know. That's my new meds. I also have from Outrun, I've ordered Brazil and Sorcerer, which I think I've told you guys about. So keen
How
they
good's
come
that
in.
Digipack, Adam? You excited about the Digipack for Sorcerer? It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, look, you know what? I'm not because, and I have a few Criterion Digipacks because you don't have a choice when you get the Criterion. I would just rather, I just want a plastic case. I don't like the card because it gets damaged too easy. Just sitting on your shelf, you put it in a slot that you've got it organized, hit it wrong, and it bends the corner. It's like, fuck, now it's ruined. Now it's lost all its value. Like my Pokemon card, my Charizard is fucked. That's what that's like when you bend a Digipack. But Sorcerer's probably not going to be one I sell. Might be something my grandkids sell. I have also pre-ordered Small Soldiers, the Steelbook, because we may not get that in Australia anytime soon. I did look into it, and there are rights issues because it's Universal and it's also Paramount in Australia. And there's just a bit of hoo-ha between those two guys. I mean, I think for the domestic American market, I think Universal have the rights to distribution and ownership, but in Australia, it's a bit of a shit fight apparently, or from what I understand. But so I just pre-ordered Small Soldiers because I didn't want to wait, and I love that movie. And also Sabrina, which is one of my all-time favorite classic movies: Billy Wilder, Humphrey Bogart, Audrey Hepburn, and William Holden. To have that on 4K is just going to blow my socks off. I can't wait. I really can't wait to see that in 4K because I have a Blu-ray of it and I also have it on iTunes, and it's watchable. It's more than watchable in HD, but it's kind of dark, a bit grey. So 4K, a good upscale. This is going to be, and it's a Kino Lorber title too, so it's going to be, I believe.
Probably mint.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think it will. So super keen to watch that. I mean, I could watch that movie once a week, I think, if I didn't have other stuff to watch. I have pre-ordered Swordfish. I think I spoke about this in Dark City from Arrow. Swordfish, I think I might cancel my Swordfish because I found today, once I rearranged all my shelves, I have Swordfish on Blu-ray, so I'm kind of happy with that. I don't think I need a 4K of that, especially not for $50-$60.
You can send it to me. I'll take it.
I'll send you my Blu-ray if I do end up getting the 4K. Do you have
I've
the
already got it
Blu-ray?
on Blu-ray.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I want it. I mean, I've only seen the film twice, I think. I did do, yep, I'll go through. I've got a couple more. So I did order the Fallout Steelbook from Tape Film because I don't think we'll get an 84K of that in Australia. Fallout's the TV show that's on Prime. I'm based on the game. I've never played the game. I'm not really a gamer, especially lately, the last year or two. But I love the show. I thought the show was spectacular. We're getting a season 2, so I'll have to collect the season 2 box set of that too, I suppose. Steelbook, I mean. But yeah, very keen for that. Also placed my very first second sight order because they announced the Nice Guys in 4K limited edition, and I wasn't not going to get that. So just to make it worthwhile, I also ordered a few other titles, which is Tangerine was one of them. I've got the Mean Streets 4K, Lake Mungo. If you have, that's an Australian horror film. Have you seen Lake Mungo?
Never. No.
Give it a crack. It's on Broly, so you can watch it for free. It's really good. It's pretty intense. It's like shot in documentary style of this haunting of stuff. It's really, really impressive. Also picked up Once Were Warriors Blu-ray from Second Sight because I don't own that, and it's a film I would have been wanting to rewatch for a long time. And also picked up When a Stranger Calls and When a Stranger Calls Back. That was in a box set, like it is in a 2-pack on Blu-ray as well. So that's everything I've got on its way, and a few more I'd like to have on the way, but we've got to cut the rope at some time, don't we?
I know, right? There's too many we'd like to have.
It's 2025 is a hell of a year. Yeah. Anyway, let's how many have you got much to talk about what you've got on the way?
I've only got, I think, 3.
Oh, okay.
One of them actually is already in Australia, which is FX and FX2.
Ah, yes.
So basically, I said to Rick, "Can you just send whatever I've got because I want it for Easter?" And I watched nearly all of that over Easter, which was great, but that hadn't arrived yet. So I said, you know what, just hold on to that and I'll probably just buy some more and just send it with that stuff. And yeah, so I've got that coming. I pre ordered the Beyond 6 disc 4K set, which the only difference between that and the really limited one is the other one came with an IBIN eyeball as an extra. That's it, from what I've been told. So yeah, still 6 discs. Still comes with the leather-bound insert book, which
Mm-hmm.
looks mad. So yeah, I ordered that. And yesterday I ordered Mikey from the Film Treasures UK. I've never ordered from them before, so this is a first. I think I scraped in with the online extras to get the baseball bat magnet and the double-sided poster, which are both limited only for their online pre-order. Because I mentioned this to you, and you're like, "I've never
You
heard of
did.
that." And then I
But look,
mentioned it to about 10
it,
other people and never heard of it.
never heard of it. Yeah, I mean, I thought it'd ring a
Um,
bell, and I don't know, I might have been making that up. But there was also a video game on the old Commodore 64 called Mikey, so it might have been that I was thinking of. I don't know.
I know it from 92. I mean, this came out before The Good Son, and these two films are quite
Right.
similar.
Okay.
Uh, but I remember the VHS case, and I remember Mikey in like blood scrolled letters, and it was really shiny and bright. And I looked this up on eBay, and I couldn't find it on there either.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's like it doesn't exist. But yeah, but being with the incident that happened after it come out, as I was chatting to you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
about it. It's a no-brainer why it's gone under the rug and never come out again.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
very surprising that this film, with that sort of heat afterwards, would get like the treatment that it's been given. I mean, this is a 4K scan, so
Yeah, okay.
I don't think it's ever had a release. Maybe DVD. I don't think there's been a Blu-ray of it. It should look pretty schmick, but yeah, pretty cool to buy something from a label I've never bought from before.
Mm,
They're sort of very independent, sort of like what Umbrella would have been way, way back in the day. So they only do a handful of editions. And it was interesting. Someone commented on this post in regards to that, of
okay.
saying, why can't you just do a regular edition of it? Why do you just have to do a deluxe edition of it? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it basically just came down to, well, you know what? We're an independent label. We
Yeah.
can only do a handful of things. And,
We've got to make money.
you know, we wanted to do it this way and
Yeah.
really give this film what it deserved. So, fingers up to you, friend. And
Mm.
yes, jog on. So, yeah, I think it's quite good that they put that much effort into it because it's not a very highly known film, but to the people
Yeah.
that remember it from the 90s, hats off to us. But yes, that's
Yeah.
all I've pre-ordered.
Okay.
Not too
Well, that's
much.
cool. So we're going to be talking about what the labels have coming then.
Absolutely.
All right. All righty. So what have you got first cab off the rank for your labels?
Well, it's always going to be the same cab off my rank. I think you know what it is. I'm going to start with vinegar because I love vinegar. It's
Mm.
one of my favorite labels.
Fifth and vinegar.
Uh, yeah, so it's been some pretty big droppings at the
Mm.
vinegar compound.
That's
Uh, well, maybe because everything I usually mention from vinegar, you're like, I've not heard of any of that.
no, that was just the Jeff Goldblum quote from Jurassic Park when he sees the is it the Triceratops? No, it's not the Triceratops. Anyway, the big pile from the sick one, from the sick Triceratops.
That's right, Adam. I'm with
Because
you.
you said it was big droppings. That's why I said
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. There's some big ones in here. So we've got Murder Rock 4K, which I think's was it Severin? No, 88. I think 88 put that out as well recently
I think Sydney
on
Sweeney used to
4K.
murder Rocky in Immaculate, right? Have you seen
I think
Immaculate?
so. Yeah. No, I haven't
Ah,
seen that.
Okay.
I have not seen Immaculate, and I haven't seen Abigail either.
Oh, Abigail, I highly recommend.
So I
Immaculate,
need
not
to
so
see.
much.
I need to see these films, especially Abigail, because a lot of people have said it's great.
It's actually getting a 4K now. I saw from some random label. It's not a shout. Oh, it might actually be a Screen Factory. I can't remember, but it is
It
getting a
is,
4K.
but I
Yeah.
can't talk about that because it hasn't been announced yet.
Ah, yeah, gotcha. Not
Anyway,
official.
so I've already mentioned The Nesting, some more crazy Asian cinema with Devil Doll and Curse of the Voodoo. Another old one, I think it's from the 70s, Igor and the Lunatics. That's a VSA release. I've already mentioned Drop Zone, so that was the new
Hmm.
cinematography release. Last Tango in Paris, which is actually like one of their
Yeah.
fat hard boxes.
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
actually pretty good. That's a big title, Last Tango in Paris. Isn't didn't I think that's in the Marlon Brando box set number two, volume two, the
oh,
imprint one?
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
That one sold incredibly well. The fat box is gone and the standard release is nearing sold out.
Really?
So
Okay.
that went incredibly well. So that's what's new. Now I want to talk about moving into May. So May
Hmm.
1st, this is huge, right? Unfortunately, if you're listening to this, this has already happened. This happens every month. We apologize in advance.
Actually, this
But
episode should drop on either 30th. Okay.
it's
My
going to
bad.
drop this month, is it? Not
On
really?
Wednesday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So 2 days.
Okay. This is probably the best timing ever. So if you
Mm.
hear this episode, this news is going to be more relevant than any other news I've mentioned vinegar wise. All right. So May 1st, massive drop. Halfway to Black Friday sales. It's like a flash sale.
Ah, yes.
So basically, the flash sale for Vinegar Syndrome, at this time, there's new titles coming out and they drop them all bar two because there's going to be two secret titles. But you can still buy these. You just won't know what they are. So if you want to, be a freaky dipper and grab these and you're not going to know you like surprises, that's up your alley. That's going to be great. But there's going to be four new VS titles. There's going to be a brand new VSU. If you've
Mm.
followed this page long enough, you'll know that the VSU is one of those magnet class box sets,
Yep.
uh, which I'm super, super excited about. Rumor has it, I will say this because I've heard rumors, it's going to be the Golden Child in 4K.
Oh, that's epic. That is epic.
So, what is so great about these sets is just the films that they choose, like what they've already
Yeah.
chosen, like to put out Daryl on 4K or Congo or
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just yeah, just random films like that from our childhood that are just like, holy crap, we need this in our lives. There's going to be a new VSA title, one new VSL title, two cinematography titles. I am
Oh,
near
yeah.
wetting myself right now. And one of those is a Blu-ray first. So
Ah.
that's really exciting.
Do you know what they
So,
are?
no, not yet.
Ah,
And
they
I
just told you. Okay, gotcha.
So this is all on their website. You can check this out. There's a bit of a banner at the top of the page at the minute,
Mm.
and it gives all this details. But what's truly exciting is this isn't going to be released at 4 in the morning. I don't have to get up that early. I don't have to
Uh,
upset my wife at getting up at 4 in the morning to check out these titles. I think I can hear chuckling in the kitchen. So basically, I think this is going to be an Arvo drop for us, which is really
yeah,
cool.
nice.
But yes, very big news at the Vinegar Syndrome compound.
Yeah,
And
the
that's
HQ were, well, dropping some bombs.
absolutely because the other thing I will mention before I hand the mic to you and drop it and leave is that there's going to be the prices on these are going to be discounted.
Oh, how come?
After the flash sale, they will go back to a regular price. So if you want to get
Hmm.
them $5, $7 cheaper, which I think it was last time when I got Congo, this is a great time to jump on it. There might be like bonus, like double, triple points for stuff. They do stuff like that at times if you're getting points on your account. So yeah, pretty exciting to hit this. I might have to make a toilet break at work and just do some browsing.
Yes, it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all.
So that is all for the VS at this
Okay.
current time.
All right. We're over to Arrow. So you're going to have to help me a little bit on this because a lot of these titles I don't know much about. And as I spoke at the start of the top of the show, top-ish of the show about me watching Rambo, the first two Rambos recently. First one that Arrow are dropping is Cobra, another Sly Stallone film, which I don't think I ever watched it. I think that would have come out before I even owned a VCR, or my parents owned a VCR back in the 80s. And it's just not something that ever interested me. I've never been into that type of film, although it doesn't mean I'm not into it now. It just means I never was. So, yeah, never seen it. But you're pretty pumped about Cobra. You've got special connections with that
Absolutely.
film.
I'm very pumped for that just because it was the first VHS I ever saw. As I said to
Mm.
you the other
Hmm.
day, the first VHS that I watched with my soon to be sisters at the time in 1988.
Yep.
Very exciting, all in that R-rated glory, and we were like, I was 7 years old, and I'm like, fuck yeah, this is the shit. So we were pretty exciting. I wanted this in a 4K, and I mentioned it in one of these episodes and said this has to happen, and mentioned my good brother Mauricio, absolute diehard
Mm.
fan of Cobra. He has massive posters. He's got the script. He bought me the 2K Screen Factory version when he was in the States
Right.
and sent it
That's
to
cool.
me. He's already pre ordered 2 copies. This is not a joke. It's not a drill. Like,
Yeah. Wow.
this film there's something about it that is just 80s nostalgia at its best. Like, and with
Yeah.
Stallone, the way he did it, he wanted this. I think he was in line to do Beverly Hills Cop, but his
Really?
version of Beverly Hills Cop was Cobra, and Cobra was way
Uh,
too violent
yeah.
for
Yep. Yep.
what
Yep.
they wanted to put out as Beverly Hills Cop.
Mm-hmm.
So
That makes
it
sense.
got discarded. Hence,
Yeah.
Cobra was born.
I'm pretty keen.
So,
I might have to do a swap with you when you get your 4K, steal your 2K, if you wanted
well,
to do that.
in saying that, I mean that this version also has the TV edit,
Ah,
the TV version,
the
only
Arrow
def.
version.
Yeah, so the 4K Arrow version has the additional TV version with it.
But then it'd be
Um,
worse though, right? The TV version would be shit.
well, it's not about the actual look of it, it's about the
No.
cut, because this cut
Yeah.
has extra bits in it. So of
Ah,
course it's not going to look as good as the
I've
4K version,
I would
but
just
if you want to
imagine
see it in that cut, well, cool. So,
the TV version would be worse because it would have less, because it would have edits and cuts to the violence and the language.
well, I think this just has could have additional dialogue, additional scenes. From what I've heard, the actual full cut, I think there's 40 minutes missing
Ah,
from
okay.
because it was way, way more violent. And the full version is just somewhere else in the world. And apparently Stallone just has to go get it. From what I read online the other day,
Okay.
maybe he doesn't
Right.
want to. Maybe he's happy with how it is. I don't know. But
Yeah.
after all that, Adam, yes, I'm very excited for Cobra. Mm.
Yeah, you're talking it up. You're making me interested. Making me interested. Next one off their list is another Fulci film, and I watched. Well, I was talking. So I watched "Don't Torture a Duckling" today, which is a film, Zombie Flesh Eaters, and I looked this up. Rated really well. This looks really good to me. I like zombie films. Zombie and gangster films are like my two, peak genres, which is why Sinners are so good because well, they're not zombies, but whatever, close enough. Next one, Crumb Catcher. I don't know anything about Crumb Catcher. It does look interesting again, though. It did look pretty cool. Narc is the next one, the Ray Liotta film from 2000 something, directed by Joe Carnahan, Jason Patrick, and Ray Liotta. It's actually rated pretty well. It's a 7 point something on IMDb, which makes me curious about it. I've heard of this film, and again, it's one of those things like, yeah, no, I'm not too interested. It just seems like it's a lot like a lot of other films, but it's yeah,
You've never seen it.
never seen Narc. No,
Oh, bro, get it.
is it good? Okay,
It's mind-blowingly wow. The
okay,
performances are electric.
right.
I've got the 4K that they put out for the States, and
Ah,
it's mint. They left all the grit in it. They didn't dazzle the 4K up in any way.
right.
It's just a top-notch transfer. Like, it's so
Okay.
worth getting.
Yeah, it could be on the list, but I'm not sure I'm going to jump at stuff like that just yet. I've got a lot of stuff blow up in the house lately, so I have expenses and I've had to rebuy stuff, which is a pain in the bum. Anyway, the next one is the Night Watch collection, something else that looked quite good to me. And sitting here now, I can't remember a lot about it, so I should go onto the Arrow website and look it up because it does look interesting.
It's epic,
Night Watch.
unbelievably epic.
Yeah, and the fact that it's two films and it's only well, I'll say only a Blu-ray, but it's because it's not a 4K, but it's a Nordic noir. I don't know, it just sounds like it's right up my alley, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it's in Czech or Russian. I can't remember which, but
it says it's
yes.
Nordic, so it means it might be Danish or Swedish or something.
No, it was somewhere in that corner of the world. I saw that
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the cinema, to be honest.
Dutch. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, when it first came out, and it was a big deal when it was coming out.
Yeah, okay. Well, the fact that there's two films in this for, you know, $36 Blu-ray sounds pretty good. So it could be something to pre-order, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, the next one they had is there now I've lost my screen. The Stuff, which is I don't know, it looks a bit silly to me. The Stuff. I don't know what you know about that.
I think that's really cool that they've even
Let's
put
give it
that
a
one out.
4K. Like it sounds like a strange ass film.
I think it's very in vain of street trash
Right.
in a body horror sense.
Right.
Basically, yeah, just an ice cream that is like highly lethal and toxic and turns people into crazy things. And
Right.
yeah, it's a classic like from the 80s. So I'm surprised that Arrow is actually putting it out because that just seems like it's got Scream Factory written all over it. Same as like if they did Street Trash, that just seems like Scream Factory all over it. But it's still cool. I would pick that up because I love that shit. It would just be a fun movie to watch. Totally ridiculous.
But yeah, yeah, it does seem that way. I mean, they are all titles that are really interesting, but even though I haven't really don't know anything about most of them or much about any of them, is probably the best way to say it. But they all do look pretty interesting from Arrow, as usual. To be honest, yeah, that's all. That's all I have from Arrow. What's next from you?
So I was just going back to this Crumb Catcher because I'd never heard of
Ah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yep,
And this is from 23.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a newer film.
Right. I might have to look into that. But yeah, it just
Home
they
invasion
usually
thriller.
they usually throw a curveball in there that's like, yeah, yeah, you may not have heard of this, and it only come out like a few clicks ago, you know.
That's what I mean. It
Uh,
does sound interesting. Again, never heard of it. Didn't know it existed, but it sounds really interesting. I mean, home invasion thrillers are always pretty good fun, to be honest.
Not for sure. They can
Yeah.
be quite intense. All right. Well, the next one is Cape Light.
Oh, yeah.
Not a hell of a lot to chat about, but they're putting out Over the Top, another Stallone
Yeah.
4K
Yeah.
media book, and a still, which our good brother at Outrun has got up for pre-order if you're keen to get it. I've heard from other people overseas that I chat with, this is selling incredibly quick. So if you're keen to get it,
Ah,
it's well worth picking up. I've had the Blu-ray for about easily 6 years. So
right. Okay.
so this should be a major upgrade from that. But yeah, a little bit pricey. I mean, I would like to get an order from Cape Light down the track because they've got quite a few things I'd like to get, like Over the Top, Misery, Fargo, and there's a couple others. But yeah, it's all about that not endless money supply. So can't get everything. But yeah, that's it for Cape Light,
Oh, is that it?
unfortunately, this
Okay.
this time.
Okay. What else have we got then? Criterion. Yeah, they brought out some big ones actually. There's a Mike Nichols film, Carnal Knowledge, which again I'd heard of,
Mm,
but looks really, really good. Just jump in anytime if you have a comment on any of these. There's
Yeah, well, the
also, yeah, no, sorry, go
Cardinals
ahead.
interesting because that's like a
Mm.
double drop because another label's put that out at the exact same time, which
Ah,
is
is that right?
nuts.
Yeah, interesting.
I think it's Indicator,
Fond.
Indicator Films.
Oh, really?
I
I'm just going to jump
reckon
onto the Criterion website.
reckon they dropped it.
Jack Nicholson, right? Yeah, Jack Nicholson
Yep.
but I mean Mike Nichols with that cast. Art Garfunkel, which is a strange addition, but anyway, it would just be interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure I want to pay full price for it, but sounds all right. Anyway, they've also got You Can Count on Me, which is a Kenneth Lonergan film. Mark Ruffalo, Laura Linney. Again, I don't think I'd ever heard of that, but early Ruff and Linney would be interesting to see. We also have, which is probably the one that, well, okay. This one interests me for the fact that Warner had announced they're releasing a 4K of this year sometime, and I hope this isn't the version, but it's the Barry Lyndon, Criterion doing Stanley Kubrick's Barry Lyndon on 4K, which takes me by surprise. I'm not sure whether that means Warner aren't releasing their own version of it now or not, or whether it's public domain type of thing. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. You've not seen Barry Lyndon, have you?
I haven't, but you've ramped it up enough that I should watch it.
Yeah, I tend to do that. Look, Barry Lyndon's not a film for everyone. It is a period piece and it's almost 3 hours long, or maybe it is, but it's a great film. It's just a really good hang, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm a little bit concerned that Warner are releasing their own version of that, but I don't know. I'm happy to wait and see. The next one I have is The Big Heat, which is a Fritz Lang film, which is a big title. It's an old noir thriller. Sounds fantastic. Would be great to get. But again, it's something, all of these I'll be waiting on. The one title that I am really keen of Criterion's for July that I would love to grab is The Adventures of Antoine Doinel. It's French. I'm not sure how you pronounce that exactly. But they're all films from Francois Truffaut, who did The 400 Blows. And it basically starts off with, it's the same character through all these five films, who was Antoine Doinel. And I know it's like 180 odd bucks, I think. I'm just trying to find Outruns price. I think he has it.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
That's just a couple
185.
pennies.
Yeah, but it would be really great to get because it's 4K restoration of all those five films. I already do own the 400 Blows though, like a BFI release of that. Just a Blu-ray, so do I want it twice? That's the annoying part of it for me. I'd like all of those films, but I already have one, so I don't know if
Yeah,
I want to have them all, have one of them twice, if that makes sense. But that's all I have from Criterion this time
yeah.
around.
Pretty solid drop, really.
Yeah. It is a really good drop.
I
What's
I
on
just
your tab?
I just find that interesting that they've released Carnal Knowledge and
Mm,
Indicator at the same time
yeah.
released Carnal Knowledge. Like
Yeah.
no
It says a bit about
no
the
gap.
rights.
Yeah,
No,
it's just
no, don't
crazy.
know. It says a bit about the rights. Like I think about 4 or 5 different labels have done Honora as well. I think
Yeah,
he opened it up, sold like can't remember, was it A24 who released that? They've just gone, okay, we're going to make as much off this while we can while the going's good. We just sell it off.
absolutely. My next one is Second Sight.
Right.
As always, Second Sight releases, I don't know, maybe two, three films at best at a time, but that's fine
Hmm.
because the content that they release is just second to none, mind the pun. So obviously, The Nice Guys, you already pre-ordered it. I'm yet to
Yes.
pre-order it, but I will be because that's
Yeah.
just a sweet set. They're also doing Talk to Me, which is in 4K as well.
Which everyone, oh no, I'm thinking of a
Oh,
different film.
oh, all good, Adam. Yeah, so I've already got that on from Umbrella. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't watched it yet. I have seen it. We watched it at the cinema, but I'll probably still pick that up because I'm a massive fan of that film, and for it to be filmed in my hometown of Adelaide, that's quite close to me. It's a no-brainer. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
I love the artwork of this too. Very, very cool. And the other one, I don't know if I've mentioned it in previous episodes, but the coffee table.
Yes.
Highly unsettling, intense film from what I've heard. That's also nearing a release soon. So I know there was one of the partner labels through Vinegar who put that out, and it's sold out super quick. And I think this one is selling quite well as well. So well worth getting if you've
Yeah.
seen it or want to see it. Only a Blu-ray of that one though, but that's all good. So yeah, that's Second Sight at the minute.
Okay. I am up to my faves. Kino Lorber. I did mention earlier Sabrina, which is a must purchase. Well, it already is a purchase for me. It's on its way. Deep Star 6, which I know I looked up, but now I can't remember what that's about. I'm so hopeless. Let me have a look. Sorry, guys. This is great Radio. Hopefully you've got
A
this
good
on.
underwater thriller horror.
Yep. Okay. Just taking time to load. Yeah. That's the one. Not all aliens come from space. I don't think any of them do. They're all under the sea. Yeah, it's what's this rated? It's a 5.3, so maybe that's why I'm less excited for it. They also have Law and Order, which is a 4K restoration by Universal. Includes 1932 film Without Honor, starring Harry Carey. So it's an older film. I'm not 100% sure what that is. I hadn't heard of it, it's a pretty generic title. I'm just trying to find it on DB. I may not. Oh yeah, I can. Again, more great radio. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. If you're interested in it, grab it. Next one I have is Rock Pretty Baby, which is a HD Master 4K scan. That's a 1965 film. Then we have The Peacemaker, which is I think that's George Clooney film. Isn't that George
Yep.
Clooney? Yeah. From 97. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's Nicole Kidman too, right? Or am I thinking of
Yeah.
The Interpreter? Yeah, she made a lot of films like that. The
No,
Invasion, The Interpreter, Peacemaker, all the same movie.
you sure she's in that?
No, I'm not. No, I'm
I
not.
haven't
That's
seen that for years.
I don't know if I ever have seen it. Said Maya. Yeah, it is Nicole Kidman, George and Nicole. Yeah. Mimi later.
I think it's a real slow burning thriller.
Yeah,
I
they're trying
think.
to track down a stolen Russian nuclear weapons before they're used by terrorists. Yes, that's such a generic plot. Yeah, probably and in '97, a further star-making vehicle for George Clooney and Nicole. Yeah, it's not down my alley, that's for sure. The next one is though, but I have a DVD of this, which I might be happy with. But if I ever see it cheap, Mouse Hunt on 4K. Mouse Hunt is a stupendously funny movie. You've seen Mouse Hunt, right? Or no?
Long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, look, it is a kids' film. It's slapstick, funny humor, but I don't know. It is just really funny. Nathan Lane and Lee Evans, the guy who's plays, he's in Something About Mary. He had a moment in Hollywood in the mid to late '90s. Lee Evans, he's a stand-up British. He's a British stand-up comedian. Anyway, he's in that as well, and directed by Gore Verbinski, which is a weird one, but it's really funny. Speaking of really funny, the next one is Road Trip. We're getting a 4K of that. That's Road Trip is a cool. Well, that was a pretty big title back in its day, and I might pick that up at some point. To be honest, another one is Rustler's Rhapsody. I'm not sure if you know what that is. No, that's from
Uh,
1985. From 1985. And the next one this has a release date now is Dante's Peak, even though it was pushed back, and it's now got a release date of June 24. So that is on its way, mate. That's all I have from Kino. Any comments? Forever hold your
uh,
peace.
yeah, I'd probably be keen to get Mouse Hunt and check that out again.
Yeah.
The bad news is that Road Trip does not have the unrated cut
It doesn't
on
either. Yeah.
4K.
You're
So
right.
if you have the Blu-ray, keep it because you'll have both. I'd
Deal.
still pick that up. It's a classic film. It's hilarious.
Yeah. It's a shame. Well, what's his name? Todd. Shit. He did the Joker and the Hangover films. What's his name? He's the director of it. You know who I'm talking about.
I do, but now I can't think of it. I've got like camera fright, and I can't think of who it is.
Todd Phillips. Todd Phillips.
That's it.
Todd Phillips.
A movie comedic genius. Some of the film.
He's up there. He's up there. He's done some good ones. Yeah, that's it. Over to you.
All right. So next we've got Severin. Severin just don't put out a great deal, but
Mhm.
to the people that love what they do put out, this could be up there. It's called Bloody Legend, the complete Cliff Twemlow collection, which is 9 discs and a CD box set that also comes in a deluxe edition with all the above, but this has the book collection for the films, the not for the screen T, and I think there's something else that comes with it. But yeah, they really like doing these big bundle collections. I haven't heard of this at all. It's no surprise. But yeah, if you're into that, definitely worth picking up because I'm sure it would be a very cool set. And
Yeah.
that's it for that.
That's it from Severin.
Yeah.
I only have a few now from Umbrella. I'm not going to talk about everything, but Salute of the Jugger is is coming. Have we spoken? We
Fuck
spoke about
yeah.
that. No, we didn't speak about that yet, did we? I'm just mixing up my dates,
Not
maybe.
really, no.
No.
We haven't, but we will one day.
Yeah, yeah,
We
that's
can
one of those
talk
films
about it.
I never heard of. It sounds weird to me, and yeah, I not you obviously know the film.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time because it's never really been highly accessible after VHS. I remember it came out with one of those embossed pop covers, like the original Braindead, and I was
Yep.
hoping, and I did hint it, that Umbrella should reenact that and put it in the deluxe set, but they didn't. That's fine. You hurt my feelings. That's fine. But yeah, I reckon this will be a mad 4K. I reckon it's going to be a mind blowing one for sure.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah,
On
it's
my
good.
two pre-order list,
Yeah, it's going to sell pretty well. A lot of people were dropping nuggets for it, weren't they, on the internets?
nuggets.
Yes, and the next one is Noroi the Curse. Again, something I hadn't heard of, but sounds pretty interesting.
Never heard of it.
No, and then last one I'm going to talk about is the Full Moon Fright Box #2, which does look actually really good. It's quite
It's
good.
actually pretty decent. Some of the
Yeah,
stuff that's in there.
yeah. Which again, if that makes me then go, well, I probably should get #1 as well, and that's how it should work probably. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't. I should have up what titles are actually in there. Again, me playing behind the ball.
The
Box
first
#2.
box sold really well.
Oh yeah, well yeah. For them to make the second one, yeah, it's always a sign when they keep making these series. Puppet Master, Shadow Zone, Seed People. There's 4 films though, isn't there? Oh, and Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bowl-orama. That just sounds kind of fucked up, but you know, you'd watch it, I suppose, if it comes with the box set. $130 for the box. It looks pretty cool. Like there's a lot of shit involved in that. I would probably just pick up I don't know if you get a standard type of box at JB or not, but yeah, I don't know.
You
Looks pretty
probably
good.
would. The Ozploitation boxes and the first volume of the Fright Box were in JB as well, so
Yeah.
I would say so. I mean, you got Return to the Video Store box. I mean, this
Mm.
is similar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know Seed People 88, I think, has put that out as well. So
Okay.
another title that another label's put out. So that's pretty cool.
My
Um,
fear with buying something like that, when you get something like Puppet Master, that there's a Puppet Master box set coming, because then what, you're going to own the film twice again? Like that bothers me when I own the same film twice. One's in a box set. That's what I was talking about before with the Antoine Doinel box set. I'll have the 400 blows twice. Like that would just kind of piss me off.
but in saying that, I think it really comes down to the fact of how much you love Puppet Master. Do you want to see
I've never seen the fucking thing.
every Puppet Master? Because there's a lot of them. Some people only like the first couple, and then they sort
Mm,
of go off into a weird place and they're not as great. I mean, I love the first couple, but I would totally invest in the whole box because I've wanted that box for ages, and the one that's floating around out there is very expensive. The
yeah,
only reason I've never bought it.
yeah. It's an interesting conversation, actually. You just if it's a film you absolutely love, different story. But this is a film that I've never seen, so I don't know. I don't know. It's just a matter of waiting and maybe not getting any of them at all, to be honest. Anyway, that's all I've got for Umbrella. That was a short one this month from them.
Yep.
Over to what's your next one?
So it was meant to be Scream and Shout, but
Yes.
officially we haven't heard anything yet from that side of the world. It'll probably drop tomorrow after this episode. So my next one will be Eureka. We've got High Noon, The Old Dark House, which I mentioned to you the other night, and you sounded a little bit intrigued because it was an
Yes.
old film.
It does look really good. I can't. What's the label again? Sorry.
Eureka.
Ah, of course. Yes.
So yeah, all of these are quite interesting. The Tattooed Dragon and The Son of Great Bear. So they're the 4 that they've dropped coming out soon.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
yeah,
I'm just going to jump onto the Viavision website. So I'm a little bit more prepared than usual with these things because they have a lot. I've got a lot in their list here. I'm actually keen on a few of them. But they've got their May limited edition, which is the Prom Night, but it's only sadly the remake of Prom Night,
yeah.
not the original. So they probably won't sell much more than 100 copies of that. I don't know. The Wolfman Collection, which is really cool. That sounds something I really want to watch. Can't lie. Love those old horrors. They're great. We also have Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. I don't know why I wrote that down. That's for May. Sorry. I'll write that down because that's part of the May limited edition. Okay, on to June. We have The Onion Field. I wrote this down for a reason. I can't find it on their website at the moment. Now, yes, I can. J.W. Coop, Leadbelly, The Wind and the Lion, and The Man Who Would Be King. I think that's part of their bundle pack for June, as well as Raging Bull 4K. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Raging Bull 4K, dude?
I think it's really cool that we got that here because I remember this was a few years back when that came out. I think Criterion put it out on the 4K,
Yes.
and I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
wanted to get it, but it
yeah.
was sold out quick, and I just couldn't get my hands on it.
Yep.
So, and I heard the transfer was absolutely immaculate.
Oh yeah,
So,
it would be. I think I have a Blu-ray of Raging Bull. I maybe don't. I'll check that while we're here. As I talk about the last one that interests me from Viavision is the Martin and Lewis set from 51 to 54. So they're releasing a 15 film DVD and or a 6 film Blu-ray set. I'd probably actually get the DVD on that to have more movies, and they're old movies anyway. So having them on DVD too stressful. Yeah, I do have a Blu-ray of Raging Bull. Yeah, I'm actually keen to jump into some old Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis films. I think my mum made me watch a couple of those back in the day. So I'd love to actually delve into those things because I know I'd find them funny. Yeah, the Blu-ray set has 6 movies, the DVD set has 15 movies, and the DVD set is like half the price of the Blu-ray set.
yep.
Yeah, that's all I have from Viavision/Imprint. Where are you up to?
I'm going with Radiance.
Yeah.
Some very, very obscure things in Radiance this time.
Yeah, as
Um,
always.
yeah, well, more obscure than last month, that's for sure. So we'll go with Life is Cheap, but toilet paper is expensive. You
Is
can't write this shit. This
is that the
stuff is
movie?
legit. That is what it is.
Wow.
I haven't even looked that up. I'm not sure if I want to. Essential Polish animation, The Beast to Die, Rosa La Rose, Filet Public, and that's it. That's it. I'm done. I'm out.
Okay. Is that all your labels done?
No, that was just for Radiance.
Okay. All right. I've got a couple from Madman, which is, you know, I'm talking about this because these might interest some people, but they have the Father Ted box set coming and Magnum PI, the original Magnum PI series 1 to 8. Look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think it's great that they release TV that much in Australia.
Yeah.
It is good, but none of those titles are for me, but they are for someone, which I love. I just love that physical media has a presence still, especially when it comes to TV. When I went op shopping today, I mean, it's just DVDs out the arse in every store. These bugger all Blu-rays. So people are either hanging on to Blu-rays or arseholes are going to snap them up and resell them on eBay. I think that's what's happening with the Blu-rays because it's hard to find some. I was really stoked when I found Wall Street and a couple of others today on Blu-ray. But yeah, that's all I have to say about those. Did you ever watch those shows?
Maybe when I was younger.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I remember watching Magnum PI because he had that Ferrari, and I think that's the only reason I watched it.
we did quite a few seasons out of that, really. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's the reason
that's
that
where
that's the reason Magnum PI is the reason that Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. Other because it was going to be Tom Selleck otherwise.
oh, just no way. Wouldn't have been the same
No, 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 no. It would not
at
have
all.
been the hit that it is. Can you imagine?
I just can't. I'm trying to get that out of my head right now. I don't want to see Mr. Moustache as Indiana. I just can't. I won't.
No, no, it would be too weird. Yeah, anyway, over to you. That's all my labels done for this month. I don't have any more.
I've got one more.
Okay.
Just one. So we're going to go out on 101
Mm-hmm.
films. This
Mm-hmm.
is one of the black label releases. Tourist Trap, old
Yes.
80s. I think it's 80s horror.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, this one is quite popular. I'm sure it had a release a few years ago. This is well worth picking up. It comes in a box, and for the
I
price,
hope so.
man, this is a no-brainer pickup. It would be fun,
Mm,
and it's got a bit of a cult following behind it. So it's not just
okay.
some trash. It actually has some good backing on it. People really dig this movie. So
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be a good seller for sure.
Yeah, it does sound pretty cool. I actually had went onto the 101 store and added a few to my cart, and I didn't buy them. I just put them in there to tease them. Yeah, I was
You
like,
were just
nah.
teasing yourself, Adam. That's what you were doing. You were just like, I'm going to buy you. No, I'm not. I'll put you back
Well,
now.
probably. You're probably right with that, to be honest. It's just one of those things where I'm like, nah, I don't want to spend that money right now. It's kind
Yeah.
of more like it was. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't want to cut you off too hard there. Sorry.
Oh no, that was
Oh,
it.
is that it?
That's my last.
All right.
That's all they had. That's the latest title on the 101s. They're kind of like some of these other labels. They only like put out a few titles a month, but their content is pretty solid. So
Yeah. Well, it feels like we're whipping through today. So we're up to unless I'm forgetting something, are we up to our last segment where we talk about what we want to come to 4K?
this is it because the labels this time around, there hasn't been as much to mention. So,
Oh,
I,
no, next month will be different because we might have a couple of different
well,
whatchamacallits.
for sure, we
Yeah.
haven't had any 88 films. We haven't had Scream Factory or Shout. So that's, two big labels. 88 always drop a load of releases.
Yeah.
And it was only 2 episodes ago that I went through 3 months worth of 88. And last episode, I don't think I said anything about 88 because there was
No,
nothing new. So, yeah, I'm sure next episode there'll be some big things to say from the 88 camp.
definitely. 100% there will be. Because they don't mess about either, do they?
Be plenty of stuff I've never heard of, but I will talk about it like I love it because it's just great. I love all the stuff that they're putting out.
Yeah, yeah, they're doing good work. All right, I'm going to let you start with what you want to come to 4K.
Adam, that is very noble of you.
I'm a
Let me
generous
get
guy.
my little let me get my little stack here. All right. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of shuffle. Go to there. All right. So this one's a bit of a guilty pleasure. I don't know how many people like this film. I like it. In Time. Seen this
Oh,
one
dude,
quite a
I love In Time.
quite a few times.
Everyone
I don't
hates this
know.
movie. Everyone
It
hates it. I've seen this half a dozen times. I think it's awesome.
honestly, after doing this episode, I'd almost just hit the couch, chuck this on,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and revel in its awesomeness all over again.
It's just an easy fun.
I think it would look good in 4K. I reckon there's plenty of
Yeah,
like visual stimulation to make you go, wow.
yeah,
And I I mean, I love Justin Timberlake. I think he's pretty underrated as an actor. And I just realized that Amanda Seyfried is in this as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm a big fan of hers. Since Mean Girls and whatnot. She's good, and she's quite a
totally
talented
my
actress.
first pick.
Love it. It's a great choice.
Well, if you do,
Sorry.
I was going to say, if you're really into her, you should check out the Long Bright River on
Okay.
Stan. We just finished watching it
Ah, yeah. Is that a
over the
series
weekend.
or
Yeah,
a movie?
eight episodes, and
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to do that.
it's pretty intense. Yeah,
I'm not going to watch a series. It's hard enough.
yeah, it's
It's
hard
just.
work for
I
sure.
actually want to start watching Twin Peaks while I'm on holidays and try and finish that before I go back to work. That'd be great. I don't know my chances. Anyway, my first cab off the rank for what I want to come to 4K, and I've spoken about this film on other shows, and I missed out because this did come to Blu-ray from I think via Vision, maybe an imprint. City of God. It's a Brazilian film. I do own it digitally, but I don't have it on physical of any kind. So I'd love to see 4K of this. I can't get it at all anymore, and it's rare as hen's teeth. But it's a spectacular movie. Like I love it so much, and just for me to own it on physical in any way, I'm saying I'd like to see it get a 4K.
Are you telling me that you can't get the imprint version anymore?
Not at a cost that I want to pay.
And
No,
that's not on the JV site anymore.
no, 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 no.
Yeah,
Yeah, I looked it up last year. Been looking for it for a long
shit.
time.
I haven't even opened that yet.
Do you have it?
I have it.
Of
Yeah.
course you have it. Have you seen the movie before?
Oh, back when it was on VHS,
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah,
bloody long time ago.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember it being very intense. Great film.
It is a great film. And yeah, just speaking of, I know we're on to your next one, but I'm just going to sidetrack us a little bit because why not? Remember, I think one of our very first shows, I talked to you about watching Apocalypto. Have you watched that yet? Because it's still in my list here, and I'm like, I'm going to ask you.
I'm going to go with no. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. Okay. I think it is on Stan too, by the way. I think it's on Stan.
Probably. It's
Mm.
probably still on there because I know after one of our shows, you're like, after the show, you should just go and watch it. And I think I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
went to bed and had a nap.
yeah. That's probably more fair. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're not here to talk about Apocalypto. I was just curious. What's your next one?
Well, just going through my pile. You would have seen this Flight of the Phoenix,
Nope. Never heard of it.
the
Who's in
remake.
that?
We got Dennis Quaid, Giovanni Ribisi,
Oh,
Tyrese Gibson, Miranda Otto, and Hugh Laurie.
oh, really?
This is the remake. There is an older version of it.
Okay.
A group of people get stranded out in the desert dunes in a plane that is wrecked,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have to rebuild a plane and
Oh,
get out of there before it really turns to shit with the weather. But yeah, great film. I reckon this would look pretty sweet in 4K.
okay.
I'm not sure who would put this out, to be honest. 20th Century Fox.
So,
Yeah, definitely look it up and see if you can watch it online. So I reckon you'd like it.
okay. I'll watch it when
I
you
reckon
watch
you'd dig.
Apocalypto.
Well, that's 3 hours, is it? 2.5 hours.
Apocalypto? No, that's not 3 hours.
That's tough. It's long. I'm sure it's long. I gotta look it up again
Yeah,
just
yeah. I
to
can't remember.
see what I'm in for.
Might be a couple of hours.
I know it's epic and I need to see it.
Yeah, yeah, man. You'll love it. It's just a film that I know you would like.
It's kind of like Interstate. I need to
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
that as well.
Well, you do, but again, one of the Interstate 60 is one of those films that I think that only I like it. I'm like it's not something. It's a film that I would tell everyone that I love, but I don't know. I'm not sure I'd recommend it to everyone because I'm not sure it's a film for everyone. Because it's not. I don't know. It's just a whole vibe for me. Like I don't know. I just love that type of silly shit that it is. But Apocalypto is
So
something I know you would like.
you're not the only one that likes it because I know Brendan from Instagram or Dupree went to the movies.
Yeah.
He also likes it.
Okay.
He did a bit of a review on it. I'm sure.
Ah.
I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure he sent me a link to it to have a read of what he thought, and he liked
Okay.
it. So
Yeah, good. I'll
you're not the only one, Adam.
no, well, I might be the only one that loves it, like love it. But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Well, went to my second one. I feel like I've talked about this before, but obviously I haven't. I haven't ticked the box. But any given Sunday, a 4K of that would be amazing.
Yes, that would
You,
be.
yeah, that's the Oliver Stone, Al Pacino, Jamie Foxx, Dennis Quaid. Speaking of Dennis Quaid,
Yep.
Cameron Diaz. It's a gridiron movie. Not particularly awesome for any reason. It just is awesome for. I don't know. I remember. I haven't seen it for a very long time, but I remember really liking it. So, and I do have a Blu-ray and a DVD of it. So I should have that put that up the list to rewatch again. But it's a long movie as well. But anyway, I think 4K of that is possible. That's probably why I'm mentioning it rather than necessarily wishing for it. But I think it's possible that any given Sunday it gets a 4K at some point.
I reckon it would look good on 4K,
Mm,
like just that
yeah.
the gridiron action
Yeah.
would really pop for sure. It is a great movie.
Yeah. 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 I really like it. Over to you.
All right. So next one that I've got is Fallen.
Yeah. 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 Never seen. Is that Angelina Jolie in that too?
No, that's the Bone Collector.
Yeah. Okay. I knew
It
it
is
was.
coming out at some point. I don't know if Kino's doing that. It's one of their films they talk about, and then we'll get back to it in about 5 years.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
but yes, this is a pretty cool movie.
Denzel
Have you seen
Washington.
this?
I don't think I have. Like this. Look, Denzel's a huge hole in my cinephile card. Like I need to watch a lot of his stuff.
Are you telling me that he's giving you the Delroy Lindo?
Do you know a great thing? I was watching Sinners yesterday. Delroy Lindo's in Sinners, and he's great
Yeah.
in Sinners. Wayne, shush, he is. He's really good. But you could just handball him out for Lawrence Fishburne or someone, and it'd be the same.
I mean, this has got a pretty good cast. It's got John Goodman, Donald Sutherland. You got James Gandolfini, Elias Koteas in it.
Yep. Who's our director? Who's the director of that?
The director is the fine print is very fine. Can barely read that. I can't read it.
Glasses, old man.
Gregory
Okay, I've
sounds
never
like
fucking heard.
something out of the Lord of the Rings.
Hoblet.
Look,
Someone's been hitting. He's been hitting the
you
knee
you
with a
can't
sledgehammer.
you can't make this stuff up, mate. I'm telling you, it's Hoblet.
Ah, he directed. Well, okay. He also directed Primal Fear and Frequency.
Yeah, hands down. This is a winner.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out. And I'm pretty sure this would be good of a 4K because this is a dark film.
Mm.
And I haven't watched this for a little bit. Took me ages to actually get a copy of it because it's not one we'd ever get in Australia. But yeah, just very visually dark. So I think a 4K would really pull some of the detail back out of it
See,
for some of
this
that.
dude has some really high-rated films. He also did Fracture with the Anthony Hopkins
Fracture's
film.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a director on NYPD Blue back in the day too. So he did a bit of that. LA Law. He's a bit of a TV director, Hill Street Blues, blah blah blah. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I should look that up. Next one on my list is something that it could really do with a 4K upgrade, because
Yep.
it was shot for only $28,000. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. Clerks, 4K of
Pretty sure
Clerks.
that's getting one. I'm sure that's
Okay.
got one coming.
I've not heard that at all. Clerks on 4K would be really great.
I'm sure there was a hint at some point from somebody that that was
Okay.
getting a 4K.
Well, we're not going to
Um,
get more vague than that. I've never seen that hint ever. Okay, that's interesting. I hope you're right. I really hope you're
I
right.
mean, if Dogma is getting a 4K restoration for the cinema,
Oh no,
Clerks would.
we're getting a 4K physical of that too.
I mean, surely Clerks would have to be in the pipeline because
We'll get
yeah,
sorry, but it'll be
that would look
Lionsgate, so we'll have to import it probably. It'll be
and
one
it
of
would
those.
cost $1 billion.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, man. I'll be getting it.
I mean, for a
Dog,
film to be black and white, it will look grand in
yeah.
4K.
They could upgrade Clerks, upscale that very, very well. And the original film would be present and to be looked after. So yeah, I love Clerks. That hit me it was a very seminal movie for me at the time. Like it was one of those films I watched back in the day. I thought films can be like this. Like this is great. And it's just, it was a breath of fresh air at the time. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that one.
Nice.
Number 4 for you? Yeah.
Number 4 for me,
Lay it on me.
dead set cult classic thriller and an Aussie release. Well, it's not an Aussie film, but it's an Aussie release of this.
That's a recent release, right? I mean, that's not too old because it might have been re-released recently because I picked it up not too long ago.
I got this a while ago. It says 2012 Blu-ray release on it.
Yeah, it was definitely re-released. Might have been
For
last
sure.
year. Yeah. Where is it? The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I should look at my copy and see what year's written on that.
I was gonna say, like, even by the back, it's got that old school layout for it.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
italicized font
dead set. This is great film, and this is 20th anniversary. It says on the back.
from 2000
So
when? 12.
yeah, it must be because this would have
2013.
come out in I think 92. It's definitely early
Yeah, right.
90s. I remember watching it on VHS all those
Yeah, I remember
years
watching
ago.
it. Because that was at the same time as like movies like Fatal Attraction and all that.
Yeah, there's always a psycho chick somewhere.
Single white female, things like that. 1992, yeah.
Yes,
Single
that
white female,
deserves.
absolutely. Yeah. That would be great. Yeah, all right. My next one, I'm going to have a bit of a cheat. It's 2 for 1, but Tron. We need both of those. The original Tron and Tron Legacy on 4K. I think that'd be great. Yep. They would both look fantastic for their own reasons in 4K. The same as what I think I mentioned last month, Speed Racer, it would be up there with those. Yeah. And it's probably possible considering Tron Ares is coming out this year. So it's possible
I did
they'll
see
get
that.
upscale. Yeah. Over to
I'm
you.
pretty sure that's going to be a big big IMAX title, that one.
Yeah,
The Neutron.
that would make sense. Would make a lot of sense.
Well, my last one. Now, I did mention to you, I was it last week. I said, Adam, I've got this title and I'm going to chuck it in our episode for I think it needs a 4K. And you're like, okay.
Mm.
But I didn't hint about any more. This has to get one. It has to. Inner
Yes,
Space
please.
has to get one.
Yes.
It is an absolute classic. It's
Yep.
funny as still holds up today. Once again, it's got the old Denny Quaid in it.
Yes.
This was so hard to get at the time. It was just super expensive. I don't know what I paid for it, but I had to have it because childhood fave. But yes, I reckon this would look stupendously good in the 4K.
I'm going to agree. I actually watched that relatively recently, like as in this year, in the last 2 or 3 months. And I nearly brought it on Amazon because it was cheap. So it's probably got one coming. But I never ended up doing it for some reason. I mean, I should have.
Well, it's a Warner Brothers, so
Yeah, which means it's pretty likely to get one, honestly. Warner Brothers go back into their catalog a bit. I'd love a Blu-ray of it, at least something. But yeah, it's not
they're
easy.
pulling all the stops at the moment, like with some of their titles. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Blu-ray is still quite, it's 30 odd bucks. I consider that an expensive Blu-ray for a film that's that old.
I reckon I paid about that 35 bucks.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
about 5, 6 years ago.
yeah. It's interesting. Anyway, a good choice. I think in space, it's a great option to get a 4K from the minds of Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis. There's a podcast I listened to called The Spiel, and it's about all Spielberg's either movies he's directed or produced or come from Amblin. And a guest on the show was talking about Inner Space, and it was a really interesting conversation that as they were talking about it, because it is a bit of a wacky film. Oh no, Joe Dante directs it. Sorry, that's why I want it so bad, because I'm a big Joe Dante nut. Anyway, not Zemeckis. But yeah, I love that choice. Last one for me, and the reason I'm choosing this one is because I think the studio's fucked up a little bit because they've released one film from this comedy troops library in 4K, and they haven't done the others because I don't think it's sold. It's their worst one. The Meaning of Life has a 4K, but I want to see The Life of Brian and Holy Grail get a 4K treatment. Those movies would be insane. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen those films.
I've seen bits of them. I've
Okay,
definitely seen Meaning of Life. That is my fave. And I don't
is it?
understand how Life of Brian and Holy Grail
Have
wouldn't
not.
trump that one because
Yeah, yeah.
to me, I'm sure they're way more popular than The Meaning of Life.
They
I,
are. Yeah,
I think they
absolutely.
would be.
Yeah, I agree. I guess there's obviously a lot of licensing things around that. So, I mean, again, I'm cheating. I'm going to have a 2-for-1 rather than mention them both. But I think both of those need 4Ks, and I'd be all over them. There's obviously licensing things going on with that because I'm one of the minority where I think Life of Brian is a much better film than The Holy Grail. I think it just says a lot more. It's a lot more politically accurate. With the Holy Grail is just a little bit silly. As much as I still love it, but it's not as clever as A Life of Brian. But yeah, that's me for what I want to come to 4K this month.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Bangers.
some good choices. We've got some good lists. Maybe next month I might go through have you kept a record of what you've spoken about? No,
Absolutely not. No.
no. I wish I had written them down as you said them, because at some point I'm going to cross over and say something that you've said, or vice versa. But anyway, I think next month I might go through my entire list, what I've requested to the physical media gods so far, and just be good to have a bit of a look back, to be honest. Anyway,
I reckon, I think it would be unlikely that we would cross titles because your collection, as opposed to my collection, are two different worlds.
they are very different worlds. Yeah.
And that's what's so cool about this is that I'm going to
Mm,
say things that you may never even heard of the film, or you've been like, oh, I totally forgot about that one.
yeah.
And you mentioned ones I'm like, yes, absolutely.
Yep.
That's what's so cool about this as well, because, we've just got eclectic tastes in cinema and they're
100%.
totally different.
Yeah. I mean, I dropped
So,
nuggets for Sabrina. You dropped nuggets for, I don't know,
Cobra.
Cobra. Yeah. Great choice. Yeah, and I guess we bring different things to our audience, which is going to bring me to wrapping us up. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. once again and sticking with us for this probably shorter episode than usual. But yeah, we love you and appreciate you being here, don't we, Shane?
Absolutely.
You can catch us both on Instagram. Shane's handle is Blue Relic Hunter, and obviously mine is the name of the show, KerbSide_collections. This podcast is a part of the SPDM Crew Network, where you can catch lots of different, a huge variety of podcasts, depending on what your interests are. Worth a network worth checking out. Just search for SPDM in your favorite podcast player, and something will pop up for you for sure. You might catch me on a couple of those podcasts as well. Until next month, thank you all once again for tuning in, and we will say goodbye.
Catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.